Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the regular season finale for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. It's going to be a good one here tonight at the 3/4 mile racetrack here in Richmond, Virginia. You're going to see some fantastic short track racing, probably some beef. Hopefully you got your cold one ready. And you're going to see it all live right here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, the Australian, Dean Hopton Biggles up here with me as well. There you see the grid going across your screen. Dean, get ready, baby, because I think we're going to be in store for one hell of a show here tonight as we're going to be coming to Wonder Green right here, Dean. What are we looking for? We're waiting to see somebody get absolutely pissed off, or we're ready to see some beef here tonight? Shasta better be here. Honestly, Dane, Shasta and Ray, they're here like every single week, for Jake and for Dougie and obviously for George Jules. So appreciate their support. Appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate everybody with Goat Locker, because obviously a great league, and proud to have them sponsoring my podcast as well as letting us call the races here with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, folks. Green flag in the air. Regular season finale here tonight at Richmond is on. And Hennessy down on the bottom. Lines up top. Hennessy's going to get the run on the inside lines. Maybe trying to dive back down. Right behind him, Mullins, Eddie Smith battling for that third spot.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh, no, we do not. Bad as I got to say it, Brandon Wallace involved in this right here as well. I think he might have got into, I believe it was Chuck. No, actually. Oh, this is going to be bad. Which, obviously, we love Chuck. We love Chuck. Dean, don't get me wrong. We absolutely love Chuck. He's the Marine. He's the big guns. But you're going to see it right here. He just straight up sends it in as my Spotify just kicked off for some damn reason. But there you go. Chuck just sends it in right here. Gets into Brandon Wallace. Sends him up the track, and then there they go. McCarthy's able to sneak by. The 87, I believe that is. He sneaks by. There comes Kurtz. Knight's just straight up. Holy hell, where did they come from? Kaufman actually gets into Phelps right there. Kurtz was able to slide through. Check this out right here. Right on board with the 48 rear Andy Kurtz. You see the wreck happening. Everybody's trying to digress it. Knight's, you saw him. I mean, hell, just straight into the barrels. Obviously, them barrels don't move. Kurtz might actually get out of this little bit better than what he thinks. Nice, on the other hand, he's got to burn that fast repair very, very quickly. Yeah. Mm. Dean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, no, I don't think he was. No, because Chuck, you're gonna see Chuck right in the 75. Whoa, damn, he sent that sucker right there. Well, folks, I do want to apologize. If you did hear the Spotify in the background. Obviously, if any of you listen to the Door Banging download, obviously my 40-hour work week ends on Thursdays, and that's when we drink. And yes, I've had a couple here this evening. A couple, a little bit of good news. Dean, I was telling you about it in the green room. Don't want to talk about it just yet. Don't want to get out there, get it all wide and everything. We'll tell you about it here in a couple weeks. Some good personal news with me earlier this week. So we're going to keep that on download, Dean. If you can keep it, hold it up under you just a little bit. Let's keep it on download. Let's not get crazy or nothing. You saw George Jewell right there. Yeah, obviously, yeah, obviously you knew about it as well. Eddie Smith right there in that 87. There's Jake Ellenson right there. We talked to Jake a while ago. Played a little bit of soundboards with him, just trying to kind of get him pumped up, I guess. Some of them soundboards was pretty good, Dean. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Oh, we got some PG stuff. We can play some of that.
Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, thank you, Mark Holfield. Yep, I muted myself accidentally. Sorry, my apologies. Because usually I'm just a producer in the background, and now you can all hear me. Hello. So I was saying hello to everybody before out there in the chat too. Josh, Jamie, Ray, Chester, Gray, and yourself, Mark. Hello.
That's unfortunate.
I got too many buttons to press.
Oh, you ain't got that many. Come on now. You ain't that bad.
I counted it. It's about 327 or something like that, mate. And I've just added some more, too, for stage breaks, but we don't have
You need to narrow... Look, honestly, you need to narrow that down just a tick. But, I will say this. Obviously, short track racing, a three-quarters mile racetrack, Richmond Raceway. Used to be Richmond International Raceway. Obviously, a little bit of a rebranding. But this place, it is home to great short track racing here in Virginia. Green flag in the air. Hennessy on the bottom lines. Tez outside now. He's going to be to his back bumper. Eddie Smith, he's going to get clear of old Jamie Mullins right behind him. How about Ethan Hollis? Haven't talked a whole lot about him. Hell, he's in the amateur division. He's got a shot to win that amateur division. And Dean, we'll talk about them points here in a little bit, how that amateur division is going to play out here tonight, because it's going to get really tight here on these points. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit, but right now, Hennessy continues to lead, but Lyons is going to send it on the inside. He's trying to go for the lead as well.
Oh,
That's
Jake.
Slaps the wall. No, that was Hallis in the 93. Slaps the wall. Actually, he just went head on into the wall, straight up nails it. Gets loose off of turn 2, which is possible, Dean. I've seen it numerous times. Drivers get loose off turn 2. Check it out right there. Back in. Steps out. Jake Ellison dives it down. Bam! Head on into the wall. 86 gets involved. The 3 of Michael McCarthy. He is going to get involved, as well as Timothy Wilms. Remember that name, folks. Timothy Wilms right there trying to get himself into these playoffs for that pro division. Check out Wilms right here, riding right behind him. Bam, Hollis in there. There's McCarthy. There is Wilms. Jake Ellison able to sneak by just a little bit. Nobody going in right here, Dean. There you see Hollis right there. I mean, check it out right there. That's the wheel movement right there.
Oh, we do have some drivers going in. Jacob, we have Michael going in. Michael McCarthy. Chuck's going in for those repairs. You said they got one fast repair to burn, but some of the drivers might be electing just to do a couple of little, dint the damage out there for a few laps, especially if we do have a couple of cautions, and then save that fast repair to burn later on if required, because we're 10% of the way through the race, Jacob, and if we get a couple more cautions, they may need them.
Yeah, they probably will. And, we was talking about the points a while ago. Do want to kind of let everybody know, kind of give everybody kind of a rundown of what's going on here tonight. Obviously, 100 laps, 60% or 60% fuel capacity. 4 sets of tires. That is 3 in the pits, 1 on the car, 1 fast repair, as Dean, you mentioned. And obviously 2 green-white checkers, Jake Ellenson. After racing and also pulling a little bit of race control here for this evening, you see the schedule right there. Richmond, the final race for the regular season. And next week, we will go to Kentucky, which will start the round of 12. Dean, if we can, real quick, I do want to see if we can pop some points up on the board.
I have
because this is where it gets good. See, okay, so you got no points. So, folks, try to run this one as they started the race here tonight. Jonathan Cofield, we'll start with the Pro Division. Jonathan Cofield, he's in. He's got him a win. Jake Allen said he's got 2 wins. He's in. Chess Taylor, Eddie Smith, they're locked in. Jamie Mullins, 56 up. I'd say he's probably going to be good. Brandon Wallace, 47 up. George Jewell, 35 up. Lucas Lyons, 16 up. Timothy Williams got caught up in that accident right there. He needs to get up here, and he needs to beat all the pro drivers here tonight. If he does, he's going to knock Lucas Lyons out of a shot. Here's where it gets good, folks. In this amateur division, damn. I mean, it's stacked. Like, literally, it is this tight right here. Tyler Justice, Rusty Rafferty, these guys, they have locked themselves in with Jim or James Kaufman, as we know him by. Matt Knights, Michael McCarthy, all these guys have wins in that amateur division. Jeremiah Holt up 27 points. Here's where it gets tight, Dean, as we're getting ready for a restart. Mark Cofield is 4 up from that playoff spot. He is not here, I don't believe, this evening. Ricky Sish Jr. and Devin Smith, they are tied, and Chuck Phelps 15 points out. As we're going back green here tonight. Hennessy gasses up. He's going to try to get away. Lucas Lyons trying to see if he can reel him in for this lead. Eddie Smith not too far back as well. He's trying to battle with Jamie Mullins for that 3rd spot.
Put the pressure on currently. Eddie getting the job done. Making some moves early in this one. Jacob, what about tanks, gas? How deep do you reckon they can go on this one? Because we've already had a couple of cautions so far. No real solid green flag runs.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Nate, there's a possibility, and I'm stretching it here.
Ooh, he's Dougie.
So, I could be wrong as damn. We got Dougie actually moving up big through the field right here. Maybe able to pull it off right here, sitting up there in 12th. He may end up getting him a top 10 here tonight, so I'm sure Ray's going to be absolutely tickled to death right there. Seeing Mark Cofield out here. Oh. Obviously, he was the one that couldn't hear you a while ago. It's Dougie. Sends it in. Oh, Michael McCarthy right here. We may end up getting a little bit of beef right here. Bucky may end up being a little bit mad. Dougie sends it, dirt tracks it right here, trying to get it to stick for that 11th spot. But he is going to be able to hold off McCarthy right there. But Mark Cofield actually said out there in the chat, we are having to work tonight. I know how that is. So, Dane, I know exactly how that is.
Oh, yeah. I think he had to work.
Getting it done.
Yeah, I think you got called to work or something too the other week, wasn't it, Mark? And you had to park the car and head to work. And park your other car at work. I think am I right there, Mark, on that one?
Got to park okay.
Lucas Lyons chasing down the race leader right now. I've got a little bit of a gap back to Eddie Smith. He's got a little bit of a gap back to Jamie Mullins. But I'll tell you what, Lucas Lyons is keeping old Andrew at bay.
And, Dean, I talked about this a while ago. Lucas Lyons right there on that cut line. Now, granted, he is above that cut line. And I might have said 16, see if we can kind of zoom in right here. Hell, I was going to try to zoom in. I think it's 18, 16. It shows 18, actually. I believe that's what it is. So he's about 18 points above that cut line. Needs Timothy Williams to not win this race. Timothy Williams don't win this race. Odds are Lucas Lyons, he's going to be playoff racing next week. That amateur division is absolutely tight. As you see, pretty much about as tight as Lucas Lyons right here, racing with Andrew Hennessy right now. And folks, as I mentioned, that points right here, Cofield not here tonight. He is going to be 4 points above the cut line when we start. Jeremiah Holt is here tonight. Yes, he is. So Jeremiah Holt, odds are, will end up making the playoff. The big question right here is Ricky Sish Jr. He's in here. He is at 0. Okay, he is at 0. when you go in here and you look for Devin Smith, there is no Devin Smith. So Ricky Sish Jr. going to be able to put himself in prime position. He could possibly jump Cofield right here, Dean, as we got a caution on the speedway. It is Dougie back here in the back. We'll talk a little bit more about those points here in just a little bit.
Oh, Dougie, just as is making his way through there. Unfortunately, he is stuck. That's a very popular little place to be here this evening in the pit lane entrance, isn't it, there, Jacob? Because that's a couple of other times now that we've seen this. Let's have a look. Oh, he's come together, isn't he? It looks like with John. And he'll spin it around. Oh, gets tagged twice, T-boned, actually, by the number 12.
Yeah, that is John Huchin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but I'm going with Huchin. But yeah, I mean, just a little bit of contact right there with Huchin. Both of them slide up right there. Dougie sends it in. Maybe, I don't know. Huchin might have actually hit the brakes right there. Actually, no, yeah, Dougie just straight up sends it in there. Sorry, Dougie, but you send it in there. Gets into Huchin. He comes down. 12 gets him. Feltz gets him. Pretty much a big old stack up right there. As you see everybody kind of trying to ride right here, kind of seeing what they got. A couple of them going down. Eddie Smith, one of those drivers up here at the front. Everybody going down except Hennessy and Lyons. They elect to stay out. Everybody else behind them, Dean, they going down, maybe getting them some fresh tires right here. We talked about it a while ago. 4 sets of tires, that's 3 in the pits, 1 on the car. And I mean, this was bound to happen because, hell, the front guys, I mean, they were just straight up fixing to lead the rest of the field. Yeah,
you mentioned full freshies, as Jake would like to say. That's what we coined that. When we'll talk about that the other day at the booth, actually, for I think for the Cup Series or even was the Blanchard's Towing Series. So he said, 4 freshies.
It was one of them.
Freshies. Yeah, that's the term that Jake used. So, Andrew stayed out, Lucas Lyons stayed out. Everybody went back into pit road. So these two drivers at the moment haven't gone down to box, what I'd like to say, to get any freshies, as Jacob would like to say. They stayed out. And I think we need to pop down to that Cruising Classics garage. What do you think there, Jacob? If we got it.
I agree. Let's take a quick commercial, and then we'll bring you right back for the restart, and also a little bit later, or a little bit more, I guess you could say, on that points battle. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from Richmond, Virginia. Alrighty, folks, we're back here at Richmond, Virginia. Was talking about those points just a second ago, and I mentioned, Dean, Mark Cofield not here. Devin Smith not here. Chuck Feltz back there. Chuck Pegleg Feltz sitting back there on that 12th spot. He's got a shot to be able to jump up here and get inside that top 8. We'll see how it all plays out here tonight. Hennessy gasses up. Him and Lyons, remember, Dean, both of them did not pit that last time around. Eddie Smith, J.B. Mullins, they elected to go down. Question is, did they take tires or fuel? I got a feeling every damn one of them went down, and I would say they took 4 fresh tires. They got to get up here. They got to get a hold of Hennessy and Lyons right here.
I think we'll keep an eye on it. Once they get the temperature up with those tyres there, they'll be able to attack quickly. You can see Eddie Smith's going to try to keep onto him. Remember, they were dropping Eddie Smith before we had the caution. So let's see how they pan out. You can see the second time Andrews had a little dance at the fence, teammate, on the rear right. It's perfectly okay. He's only a little tingle, so we won't get into Martinsville shenanigans of late. However, there it is. We've had 2 retirements, unfortunately. So Ethan did retire the car, and Tanner Bertha never started.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling Ethan would probably would. Here we go. Battle for the lead. Lyons on the bottom. Hennessy up top. Damn near door banging off 2. They send it into 3. Lyons on the bottom once again. Hennessy slides up. Lyons is going to get loose, and that's going to end up affecting him, trying to be able to get a run right off turn 4, Dean. It's not going to work out. Hennessy's going to keep the lead, but all this battling, all this side-by-side battling has entered a new man into the conversation, and that is Eddie Smith right behind him here in this tied Pontiac Chevy, however the hell you want to look at it. Lyons gets loose. Smith has to get on the gas. He gets loose. So both of them hell of a save, but Hennessy's going to try to get away as the 0-0 we're seeing. That's Rusty Rafferty in the amateur division. Spin it off turn 4. He's going to be able to get it going as Lyons gets into the wall. Here comes Eddie Smith into turn 3.
Yeah, Rusty gets to the fence there, and who was it before? Yeah, into the kitty litter. So Rusty goes into the kitty litter, and Lucas goes into the fence, drops it back currently to P4. It gives Eddie putting the charge on the race leader, but Eddie's up on the inside line. Lucas is fighting back on this one, but he might have a little bit of a wounded beast there at the moment there, Jacob.
A wounded dingo. I think that may be what you were trying to. I don't even know. Oh, sorry, I have no idea where the hell we're going with that. But anyway, Eddie Smith getting around right here, Dean. I talked about this. He don't have to pit anymore. Now, Hennessy, depending on how much he saved under caution, because you're going around here, you're not using a whole lot of throttle. Check it out, Chess Taylor door banging a little bit right there with Jeremiah Holt. But, you know, with just the off-throttle time here, Dean, it is possible, not big-time possible right here, but it is it is kind of, I'd say it's probably maybe 30-70 that you could make it on fuel, Dean. So it is kind of possible from what I saw. Just depends on how much you're lifting, how much you got in the throttle. Hennessy's not really dragging around right here. He's going. So I would say he's going to have to make that pit stop. Eddie Smith, nah. He's going to be good all the way to the end.
Jake keeps it out of the fence of the slide, as you can see, coming out of the corner. He just got past Lucas Lyons, who we are suspecting has a little bit of damage on that car after having a bit of a heavy tank slapper into the fence. Jake's got the concentration. You can see those 3 cars up the road. Those 3 cars up the road are 1, 2, and 3. Andrew, Eddie, and Jamie. And Jake's on catching them. He is catching them now, Jacob. So let's see if Jake can join the party.
And, you know, Dean, if we can right here, I want to stay on board with Jake right here. Just kind of give you an idea of how it is here to drive here at Richmond. You got to dive it straight into turn 1 right here. Obviously, maybe have that brake bias a little bit low. Back end may step out. Right here's where it's going to get good coming off turn 2. Right there off turn 2, it kind of gets flat right up there against the wall. So you got to be careful. Back end can step out. Same thing in 3. You want to be careful when you get on the brakes. But coming off turn 4, this is where you see a whole lot of problems. As we do see Eddie Smith taking the lead from Andrew Hennessy, obviously on those 4 fresh tires. He's going to see if he can bring Jamie Mullins with those freshies as well. But Dean, that turn 4, we've seen it in in the DSR Electric Truck Series. We've seen it pretty much any series that you call it any series that you want. Just everybody coming off turn 4, it's literally like you're driving across black ice right there off turn 4. Just the back end steps out, and hell, you're just holding on and you're just praying, literally coming off turn 4. Mullins sends it into Hennessy right there. Obviously, Mullins went down, got those 4 fresh tires. Maybe a sense of urgency right here, thinking there's going to be a long green flag run right here, Dean.
Urgent. That song.
Urgent.
Urgent. Yep, exactly,
Order.
Jacob.
Yeah, we love it.
As you can see, the NASCAR upcoming schedule as well this week. We've got racing all week long, of course, and we're getting close to tomorrow night's C.O.P.S series, and that actually gives us a weekend off for you guys, not a weekend off for me. The 23-hour race coming up. But it's jam-packed Mondays to Fridays. It's actually Saturday for me, too, on the C.O.P.S series. So I do work on the weekend. Anyway, I get Monday off. Jacob.
Yeah, Dean, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. Obviously, with C.O.P.S tomorrow night at Chicagoland. Excuse me. That's going to be a good one. Obviously, at Chicagoland, DSR
Playoffs,
Electric going to be at, yes, that will be the start of the round of 20 for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Hopefully, you will tune in with us tomorrow night for that race. Obviously, Chicagoland puts on a hell of a show as Mullins trying to put on one hell of a show as well. He's to the inside. Hennessy almost gets up under the wall. Mullins is going to keep it down on that inside. They're going to be side by side going into turn one. Mullins on the bottom. Hennessy up top. Will Mullins give him the room? Hell no, he will not. Beating Hennessy, rather, trying to pitch him down on that yellow line. Still side by side. Jake Ellenson back behind him watching the battle. Mullins able to gas up and get away as Dougie off the pace right in front of Eddie Smith. Smith about ran him over. That may end up opening the door for Mullins to be able to try to gain that ground that he so desperately lost earlier on, Dean.
Yeah, Dougie was just wall riding there to completely get out of everybody's way. She eventually did. Further back in the field, it is brewing up a little bit of a dingo's nest over here. You talk Jeremiah Holt there, Andy Kurtz there, George Jewell. They've been battling it very close. You have to give it to Jeremiah Holt, mate. He's up 10 places for the 73 machine. Of course, there was a couple of wrecks there earlier, and he's getting past Dougie right now to put a lap on him. So far, so good. And he's been in pit road, but I still can't believe yet, and I must be waiting for it, Jacob, but Andrew, and Dougie really is riding the wall up there. Andrew's still not in the pit road, and neither is Lucas Lyons, but they're out there, and they're competitive lap times, and they're not dropping like a 929 stock exchange. They're still in it.
Yeah, I mean, that still gets me every single time, Dean. I ain't even going to joke with you. But anyway, obviously, we're seeing some great racing right here. There you see George Jewell right there, 36 right now, sitting in 9th. Good drive for him, starting 15th. It's not too bad for him. Jeremiah Holt, one of those drivers in that amateur division, trying to make sure he locks himself up into that amateur division playoffs. I'll say this, if he finishes right there, Dean, he's got it all the way. Started 17th. He's up 10 spots and running in the 7th spot. Timothy Williams is going to be the one we really got to watch here tonight. He has got to beat Lucas Lyons, and he's got to beat him by a good margin, too. Right now, sitting in 12th. Lucas Lyons sitting up there in the 5th spot. That's not going to get it done. He needs Lyons to have some serious issues. And Williams has got to get up here and damn near win this thing if he wants to have a shot and try to get to the playoffs. So we're going to be following that throughout the night. But as we mentioned our schedule a while ago, obviously C.O.P.S will be Friday night, as we talked about, Chicagoland. Monday night, Twin Ring Motegi going up to Japan, Dean. It's going to be a good one. Monday night, obviously, I'll be racing in that race as well. Xfinity is going to be the good one. We're going to my house. We're going to Talladega Tuesday night for the Xfinity Series. And then the Cup Series is... I'm sorry, Justin White. I got to actually look, where the hell are we? Pocono, I believe it is. Yes,
yeah, the Tricky Triangle.
We're going to Pocono, so we're going to the Tricky Triangle. So that's what you're going to get for your fix for this week on the National 360 Racing Network. Justin White, I am so sorry. I'm just trying to follow along with the schedule because it is all over the place. Look, honestly, Dean, if he would have had Talladega right after Kansas, I'd remember it in a heartbeat. So
here comes Chucky. So after a little bit of an early wreck from Chuck with the guns bigger than my head, even his shoulders there. He's fighting his way back. He's back in P13. They're starting to get around a couple of lap cars at the moment, as you saw. Jake getting past that number 44 machine there of John Honchin. So
yeah, I mean, Jake,
halfway through, Jacob. We are halfway through this race already, and we still have two drivers once again haven't boxed. Andrew and Lucas Lyons. Ooh,
You know, and I will
whoa.
say this. Oh, boy. Here we go. Lyman's back there trying to get around the 44. Actually, he is already, from what I'm seeing, is it 2 laps down? Yes, it is. So Chance Taylor able to try to see if he can try to get around him. And, you know, Dean, I mean, obviously Chance Taylor, one of those guys, already locked himself into the playoffs from his pro division win. And keep in mind, folks, they ain't got to win the damn race. Obviously, winning the race is great. They just got to finish ahead of everybody in their division. So that's the big thing about that. But Chance Taylor's been one of those guys, Dean. I've said it numerous times. You see Jamie Mullins put pressure on Hennessy. Chance Taylor is one of those guys that is very consistent. Like, you barely ever see Chance Taylor get caught up in any kind of chaos or anything else. And odds are, if I end up saying that, he'll probably end up getting hooked. But every time I've watched Chance Taylor, he's been one of them guys. You never really see anything crazy happen around that 14. He just produces. It may not be a win, may not be a podium finish, but he comes out and he gets points, Dean. And that's something that these guys, obviously, a lot of them are going to be really worried about winning races. But obviously, if you can't win the race, you got to make damn sure that you can actually get some points out of it and not screw yourself when you're racing everybody else right there, obviously with only 8 people in each round.
And speaking of, well, points, not points, you don't get points for pole, actually, but you do get the Jam Printing and Promotion Pole Award, and that was Jamie Mullins, who's fighting his way back through the field at the moment after taking that pit stop. He's about to get past Andrew, who has not made a pit stop. At least he's trying to get past Andrew, who has not made a pit stop. Andrew is still fighting the number 94 machine with no problemo with the freshies, the 4 freshies there, Jacob. So he's doing all right. As Jamie would say, Richmond, it really is a technical track. You bet, my friend. It looks like it anyway. I've never driven it, but I let these gladiators do that for me.
It is very technical. And Dean, just real quick with you, not really sure exactly what you're looking at on that one, but Hennessy actually got the pole.
Oh, Hennessy. My bad.
Yes,
he did too.
yes, Hennessy. Hennessy did get that pole award. So obviously, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know what you're drinking. May end up getting crossed up. But anyway, Andrew Hennessy is your pole award winner, Jam Printing and Promotions pole award winner. And you see this battle right here with Jamie Mullins, Hennessy on old tires, Smith up there. He's gone at this point. Jamie down the inside. This has got to be big right here for Eddie Smith right here, because he sees this in the mirror. He's not really trying to worry about it too much, but with Jamie back here battling with Andrew Hennessy, trying to battle for the second spot, that's going to cut down on the time. Because what's going to happen right here? Outside's trying to clear the inside. Inside, they got to left. If they end up lefting, they got to get out of the gas. What happens when you get out of the gas? That gap's going to end up getting wider. So that's what happens when you got guys battling for position. It ends up helping the guys that have got clean track. They're not having to worry about, oh, hell, I got to get out of the gas. If I don't, I'm going to run this guy on the top side. Or, oh, I'm running on the top side. I don't want to be up here. I got to get out of the gas. I don't want to run into the wall. Or, they may end up being in a situation where they're too damn loose. I mean, there's just so many different scenarios when you're running too wide right there, Dean. Eddie Smith can run wherever he wants. Yeah. And that's why you see this gap that Eddie Smith has. And that's why you see gaps with leaders that they're not racing anybody. You see gaps because the guys back there racing for that second spot. There's nothing wrong with racing for that second spot. But that's why you see these leads grow as much as they do.
Coming up to put another lap on Dougie. As you can just see up the road there, Eddie just did. You can see, you can't miss Eddie's tide machine, that's for sure. He's got that livery. So almost camouflaged into that fence there as well, too, if it was red and white versus red and orange. I wonder if Eddie, we'll be talking to him later on if he does finish in the podium, if he does actually better have tide in his bathroom, mate. Whoa, Dougie! Oh, it's getting completely out of the way.
A little bit loose. Yeah. Wow, he gets all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to keep it on the apron right here. He's going to let everybody try to slide by. You see Ricky Sish Jr., one of those guys. Dana talked about it. He is on the cut line, but with certain drivers not being here tonight, is going to help him out to probably try to make the playoffs here tonight. Lions damn near ends up running him over from what I'm seeing back here. There's Chance Taylor. He's going to dive down the inside. There's a little battle right there for that fifth spot. But Taylor sitting in sixth, trying to run down Lions sitting in fourth. Not too far ahead of them is Jake Ellenson. He's got back up here with Jamie Mullins, who was battling for second. All this going on with Eddie Smith checking out. Is there you see
goes in.
Rafferty in the 00. Eddie Smith going in. Damn, Dean, I really thought they could have made it at this point from what I was seeing from my telemetry.
Lucas just goes in. Now, we would have expected Lucas. That's his first time down a pit road. But Eddie Smith's going in again, so that's the second time. He boxed back on lap 22 when most of the other drivers did in the last caution that we actually had. When's Andrew going to come in now that he's the race leader? Surely, he's like, no, I don't need any gas. We have to scrutinize his car later on. We have to check this. I mean, he doesn't need any gas, doesn't need any tyres. He's fine. He's like done 70 laps almost. 69 now. We'll be 70 in no time. And he's still got the pace, mate. He's still doing 23, early 23s. And that's practically on pace with everybody else. I think he needs him. No, he's coming in now, Jacob. Finally. There you go.
Honestly, I figured he would have went in before Eddie Smith, but the big thing about it is Eddie's going to end up jumping him right here. Eventually,
Caution.
maybe
not. How's that going to work out then? That's going to be perfect. I think it's Rusty that's going around. But that's going to be perfect for those drivers that just went to pit road, isn't it? They got that track position back. Everybody else has to go in. You got to seize that opportunity to get full freshies, as you said, under a caution. Let's have a look what happened to Rusty. Rusty. Yeah. Oh, Rusty's just lost it on his own, isn't
Rusty.
it? And, into out of turn 4 once again. That's the hot zone this evening on this technical track. Kerfuffled it a little bit in the rear end, didn't he? Yeah.
I mean, I think what that is right there, Dean, if I, and I could be wrong, but at least this is what I feel like because I've raced here numerous times. And any of you drivers, if you want to chime in, by all means, let me know what you think about it off of turn 4s. We see a bunch of drivers. Wow, damn, Jake almost ended up cleaning the barrels out. Jamie Mullins almost did. Chance Taylor, Eddie Kurtz up here as well, going down pit road. But the way that I look at it coming off of turn 4, honestly, Dean, this place is somewhat of a sister track to Iowa Speedway. Now, obviously, both of them completely different locations in the United States of America that, there is. I mean, obviously, one's in Iowa, one of them's in Virginia, the one that we're running tonight. Both of them similar in their deals. You don't see a whole lot of guys getting loose off of turn 2. You see a lot of them getting loose off turn 4 at Iowa and here. Why? In my opinion, how wide it is. Everybody trying to drive it out and trying to get, on the gas. Turn 2, that wall jumps up and it bites them. So that's the way that I'll look at it is how wide it is, trying to keep it down, maybe trying to drive up or whatever. It just, for some reason it just seems like turn 4, Iowa, Richmond, both of them is just straight up as slick as all get out. But I will say this, Dean, we may end up wanting to take a quick commercial break because I got a feeling we're going to be running green all the way to the end. So we want to make sure that we thank our sponsors that have stuck with us here for the regular season as we're getting ready for playoff racing come next race. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Goat Locker Racing here with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Welcome back. We're just having a chat in the green room about... I was just trying to get my head around with the pit stops, of course. Eddie Smith had come out of the pits as he pitted, you said, a lap earlier than everybody else, but then he had to drop these 2 places between Jamie and Jake, Chance Taylor. I think some of this is still flipping itself around. And then we just saw Eddie Smith now drop back to P9. So what's happened there, Jacob? I don't get my head around that. He slows down here and has to allow these cars to go through. See?
There's a lot of, there's a lot of things right there. I mean, he may end up getting lucky dog. That may end up being the case right there, but we'll see how this ends up working out. Jamie Mullins, Jake Ellenson timed it perfect on the stretch. You got Chance Taylor right behind him. Andy Kurtz back here sitting in that number 48, up from 16th up to 4th. He's got a shot to try to get it done here tonight. Up front, Jamie Mullins, very strong, started 3rd. He is going to try to get away. Jake Ellenson trying to see if he can maybe try to run it down. Chance Taylor, Andy Kurtz, they're going to battle it out for that 3rd spot. Taylor up top, Kurtz on the caution out. 73 of Jeremiah Holt, who is having a fantastic run here this evening. Unfortunately, maybe got on the gas a little bit too early, Dean. I got a feeling it was just a self-spin right here. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-spin, yeah.
Yep, you're right. And once again, corner 4 on the exit, just right on the Geico. We'll save 10% off your car insurance right now, my friend, if you dig it into the fence. But not into the barrels. That's where you get your fold-up chair. Sit on top of those barrels there, those water barrels, the safety barrels there, Jacob, and enjoy the show. Get your popcorn, get your beer. And jump out of the way if you have to. Lucas Lyon comes in.
We have plenty of that.
Brandon Wallace comes in. So maybe a last-minute splash and dash to take him to the end, but we'd imagine you said you could take it to the end anyway because the drivers that just came back down for the first time. Remember, Andrew had done, 70-something laps he did? No, he did 69 laps before he needed to get some full freshies and some gas, so... 23 laps ain't going to be a problem. You blink and you miss it with that short amount of laps.
Dean, if we can, I want to actually, if you don't mind, go back to the caution right there with Jeremiah Holt. That way I maybe can explain this to some of the viewers at home, because you're going to ride on board with Jeremiah if you can right here. Because how this is going to be when they go into turn 3, that whole back end is going to step out. You can already see it right there. It goes. And what this is right here, folks, and, it is what it is right here as far as the brake bias goes, because how the brake bias is in these cars, and not only these cars, but Xfinity cars, next-gen cars, Gen 4 cars, Gen 6, trucks that we run tomorrow night with C.O.P.S, and obviously DSR Electric on Monday nights. How they got these brake biases is... you want to have a lower brake bias to make the back end of the car turn and be able to get yourself into the corner. The higher the brake bias, the more that it's going to be more stable going in the corner, but you can be tight. How these cars is, with not as much horsepower as, say, a Gen 4 car, you got to have a little back end turn. I would say a little bit different, Dean, but I don't want to get us in trouble. But we'll keep it clean and say back end turn. And that's why you see a lot of guys with these ARCA cars try to drop that brake bias and make the back of the car turn going into the corners. It happens. You get on the brakes a little bit too much, it's going to end up stepping out. That's just one of them things. It's nothing that Jeremiah's doing wrong. It's just one of the products of racing at Richmond. Not only Richmond, but hell, we saw it at Martinsville a couple of weeks ago, Dean. With guys trying to jam on the brakes, back end steps out, going into the corner, they just end up looping it around. So, any of you out there in the live chat to do iRacing, you do short tracks, jack that brake bias up. I guarantee you won't spin out.
I was going to say we got pace car lights will probably be out. No, yes, they are. I was going to say, if you wanted to grab Jake, remember Jake said, hey, we can pull him up for a bit of a chin wagon. You'd have to be super quick now. We'll see if there's another caution. Cautions breed cautions. We'll see if we can grab a word from Jake Ellingson.
I was talking to the people, Dean. I was talking to the people.
Yeah, talking to the people, yes. No, I know that. I'm just saying, and just for a general chin wagon, see if you can steal this one, get this race win. Hey, look, it's Chuck. Chuck's back, mate. I'll chuck.
Damn, how about that?
Yep, you see, that's why you never give up.
Six.
Winston Churchill say, never give up, never surrender.
Well, I mean, and remember, Dean, he was out, 15 points, I believe it was, 15 points from trying to make it to the cut line right here. Obviously, 2 drivers above him, not here. Might pay off for old Chuck Phelps. Green flag in the air. Jamie Mullins gasses up. Ellenson on the top side. Taylor on the bottom. 4 pro drivers. Make that 5 pro drivers. Holy hell, where has Timothy Wilms came from? He is up here sitting in the 5th spot. Got a spinner in the back.
That's
It was the yellow car, actually. It was the 12 right there, Ricky Sisk Jr. 4 laps down, I believe Ricky Sisk, the driver that brings out the caution right
No, it was
the 44, excuse me. John Hushin right there.
Yeah, you just saw it in your live pictures before, the yellow car here. And I don't think it gets tagged. I think it's just cold tires, coming off the caution. Oh, no. The 3, it's interesting. It looks like the 3 turned into him, but it didn't. If you watch. 44.
Well,
oh, that's interesting.
Well, Dane, I tell you what, if you can ride on board with Michael
it started
McCarthy.
earlier. Look.
Right on board with Michael McCarthy right here, and I'll go ahead and explain it to the folks right here because I see it right here on my screen. What you're going to see right here, you're going to see this 44 up here, Hushin. You're right on board with the 3 of Michael McCarthy. See Hushin up here? Watch him step. Watch him jump down. He jumps down. McCarthy's coming up. You see him fighting the hell out of the wheel. He's trying to keep it straight. He's dirt tracking it like they're doing up in Charlotte right now. But he's literally dirt tracking that number 3 car, just trying to keep it straight. And watch Hushin right here. You're going to see him dart to the left. Hushin's going to dart to the left. It's already see him kick sideways, and you already saw McCarthy's wheel. McCarthy already kicked to the right, trying to straighten the car out. My opinion, both of them meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much when all hell ends up breaking loose. Dean, that's usually how it happens. When they meet in the middle, all hell ends up breaking loose, and that's just one of them things.
That would be, racing, isn't it? Because both drivers, as you'd mentioned, both had a moment simultaneously at the same time, and of course, bang, they meet in the middle. So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Nothing wrong with, well, of course, it's caused another cautions, but re-rack them, restack them, but get to do it all over again, Jake.
Yeah, I agree. And, you were talking about a second ago wanting to bring Jake up here.
Yeah.
I tell you what, perfect time. We got another caution. Let's bring old Jake up here now. Jake, up here in the broadcast booth, buddy. What are we thinking right here on this restart? You got anything for old Jamie?
Probably not on the restart, but if we get a few green flag laps in, I might be able to get him. But he's got some, really good short run speed. Jamie's pretty fast, so we'll see what we can do.
And Jake, obviously, you, Jamie, good buddies, obviously, with Goat Locker and everything. Real quick, me, I got to put some entertainment out there. You get to Jamie's bumper with 2 laps to go, you going to move him?
You never know what might happen.
Oh, he wants beef, Jake. You know what he's like.
He wants all the beef in your damn handle. I don't blame him.
I'll leave the suspense up to you.
All right, Jake. Appreciate your time, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Better jump him out of here real quick. Is getting ready. Honestly, I thought we was getting ready for a restart right
Dougie's
there.
Parked too, mate. Unfortunately, Dougie's out.
Man, not Dougie.
Yeah, the 3 retirements. I mean, maybe he just thought he was having too many issues there. Hello, Doug, of course, and Ray. Maybe just think he was having too many issues with the car, mate. He was in the fence a few times there and probably became a little bit undrivable. And elected not to destroy the other drivers' races with a wounded car, and especially his son Jake, because he most likely would like to see Jake kind of take a win here. But he's got to get past Jamie with 14 to go. And keep an eye out on the rest of the tyres. But we are practically even Stevens when it comes to tyre wear and, I presume, gas too, Jacob. So this is just pure talent now. Dash to the end.
Yeah, all in here tonight at Richmond. Mullins on the bottom. Ellenson up top, green flag in the air. Taylor right behind him. Kurtz right behind him as well. Taylor's actually going to get the run on the inside. Ellenson up top trying to make it work. Behind him, Williams went way up the track. Caution once again. Looking at his John Hutchin once again. He's going to slide back here, coming off of the apron. Actually, it was in front of him. Unfortunately, may have been Jeremiah Holt, from what I'm seeing, and that was in the 73 of Jeremiah Holt. He's going to get into Brandon Wallace, see the 99 right here in front of you. Yeah. Oh, wow, just, damn, just kind of gets him in the back end, kind of spins him around. Damn, 12, Ricky Sitch Jr., 3 laps down. Adding insult to injury. He's going to get involved in this as well.
And it helps out the 73, doesn't it, Jeremiah? Because so it gets into him there and then almost turns, but then straight up, bang, back into it. Perfectly fine. Michael has a bit of a spin in the background trying to react to that situation.
I mean, hell, whatever works out for you. I mean, if you got to run the guy over in front of you to keep the car straight, why not? Make it stick.
And
I
look at
guess
Michael.
you could
Michael's
say.
going, oh, and then Michael gets tagged by the. And then there's another big wreck in the background there as well, too. I'm not quite sure what that was. Was it Ricky? Was it? Could have been Ricky. Yeah, because Ricky's just cruising along. So, listening to his music in the car driving. And then, I think he could have gone a little bit more to the left or to the right there, Ricky. I mean, that was day late, dollar short on that one. You could see the car was already spinning. He shouldn't have been fully on the gas, right, with Ricky, because he saw the caution up the road. That's when you lift, not gas it. Anyway, I'm not a race driver, so don't quote me on that one, Ricky.
Ever get beef, Dean?
Oh, you want me to have beef? To me, because, these drivers are sharp, to drive these cars around here. As I said, the Gladiators, it takes a lot of skill to do that, and you got to have quick reaction times, don't you? You've got to see something coming. We'll do it full speed and have a look. Look, right? He's so far back.
Johnson right here. He's a lawyer, obviously, that races in Nashville. You tell me, if we got beef, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go to the left or to the right. He could have actually gone to the right on that one, because there was a little bit of a gap, but he just went straight into him. I couldn't get my head on that one, Ricky. Sorry.
You know what? I tell you what. In Ricky's defense, if you want to go back, which we may not be able to, we may be getting ready for a double file restart, but if we can, right on board right here with Ricky as they drive into turn 1, you can see Wallace get sideways right now. This is what Ricky's looking at right here. You can see Wallace up top. He might have thought Wallace was going to go all the way around and come back down the track. That's one of those things. I mean, I could be wrong. But that's, I agree with you. I'd take the bottom and I'd try to drive around it and not get anywhere near it. Because if I see guys spinning up top, hell yeah, I'm going to the bottom. I ain't going to get
the top's safer. The top's safer because most likely the car's going to, with gravity, roll down to the left, all right? So if you go to the top. Plus, you've also got your fence there to hug, like your favorite grandma, as a friend. Because going down to the left, and if you're already on the power course, there's a good chance you might oversteer it, and then the rear end's going to slip out, and you're just going to, as you see drivers all the time, have a spin because they're trying to avoid the accident up the road. But in that case, I would have gone to the fence. I really would have. They have one more lap in the pace car. We'll have a look at it again. If it doesn't.
You're taking my Talladega strategy, Dean, is what you're doing. We're seeing another car right here. Obviously, seeing a couple of you out there. Yeah.
Once again, see, the wreck happens there. So there's indications there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds. If you would have gone to the top.
I'll say this, Dean, real quick before we get ready to go back green, because we are actually getting ready for a restart. We'll talk about that here in a second, because Jamie Libke actually had a good comment, and I agree with him 100%. We'll talk about it in a second. Jamie Mullins, gas is up, green flag in the air, Chess Taylor up top. Ellenson on the bottom side, he's going to get a little bit loose. Kurtz is going to get him a little bit loose. Smith, now they're going to go 3 wide. Smith takes it on the bottom side. Ellenson damn near turns him. And now Smith's going to get loose. Everybody getting loose. They're driving like they're on a slick track. Literally, throw the baby powder on Richmond Raceway. That's exactly how these boys are driving right here.
They get loose. Even old Steady Eddie getting loose. And Eddie's very steady behind the wheel. I've got your new nickname there, Eddie. But they're all getting loosey-goosey. out there because they're putting the gas pedal on the cold tyres, of course, and they want to try to get these movements into the fence at the moment. Goes Andy Kurtz. So that will drop him back a couple of places. Right now, 5 to go are not the places you want to be dropping. Eddie Smith around the outside of Andrew, our Jam Printing Promotions pole sitter, trying to make his move up, but can anybody catch Jamie? Look at the lead he has right now. 5 to go, short track. That's going to take a lot out of Chance Taylor's machine to do it. More than anything, he's got Eddie Smith in his background too.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, we have a caution
this
bump.
is going to get good,
Jeremiah.
but we're going to get a caution. Jeremiah Holt in the 73 is going to end up going around. May have had a little bit of help. We'll see how it ends up working out. 73 up top, 64. Matt Knight's down on the bottom side. Yeah, Holt, I mean, he just snaps loose right there. What turn is it, Dean? Turn 4.
Yep.
One of those turns that is a dangerous turn here at Richmond. We've seen it numerous times. The guy's just snapping loose. Back end steps out. Game over. They end up going around. Do want to mention, as we were talking about, Jamie Lipke out there, obviously, with that last caution that we were seeing. Obviously, he thinks that he saw the other car down low, as well as though, and didn't want to turn into him. I agree. I saw another car down there, which actually was the 44, John Hutchin. Also said, yeah, he gets past down low and probably wanted to turn that way, but saw the car pass. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with what he's saying. Obviously, Ray out here, tired of, you know what, we're not even going to say that live on the broadcast. We're going to keep that one as clean as we can. Might talk about it on the Door Banging Download, which new episode going to be coming out later on tonight. And any of you that follow the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, oh, yeah, hell yeah, we're going to have beef sooner or later, somehow, some way in it. But
Who do you have on tonight?
well, I mean, we don't have a guest here tonight. We're going to plan to have, matter of fact, it's going to be a first for the podcast. Hopefully, have 3 guests on the podcast at one time, and all of them are Blue Line Racing, because it obviously is a very historic season for Blue Line Racing. Well, Hutt Wellington, Keith Bradley, Adam Newton, both of those drivers coming over to Hutt Williams' team for Blue Line Racing on the Friday Night C.O.P.S series, and have absolutely stepped that team up and made it a top contender for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. So they will be the beer buddies this week, literally in plural, beer buddies this week, but haven't got around to actually putting out a Engine Heat episode like I usually do. Usually I have it out before this, so all you Goat Locker guys, you're going to love this, because it's going to be 2 races for the Goat Locker series, for the Veterans Fly Farca series last week at Texas, and then this week here at Richmond. So that's going to work out good for you guys, because y'all going to love it. You get talked about twice right here, Dean. This is going to be good for them.
Absolutely, for sure. So this should be the last lap that they're going to have to before we go green flag racing again with 3 to go. So it's going to be very, very sprinty to go to the end. Can anybody really get a run on Jamie Mullins, this man leading it? Of course, next week we get our round of 12 that we start there, Kentucky, Iowa, and then round of 8. Of course, you go on to the championship race there at Homestead, Miami. Of course, all the fantastic sponsors are down the bottom supporting the Goat Locker Racing, a non-profit organization. So no money goes into the pockets of anybody to make any coin from. All the money goes back into the league and making it fantastic racing, which we should go fantastic racing hopefully again soon in a second. There.
And I got a feeling they're probably going to double it up right here, Dean. Jamie is going to be on the bottom. You start to see Chance Taylor starting to ease up to that top side. And remember, folks, talked about it, this is different than Nazareth. Obviously, Nazareth gets 3 green, white checkered attempts. Goat Locker doing it a little bit different tonight with the Veterans of Life ARCA series. 2 green, white checkered attempts. This is their first one. And, folks, if this is your first race with us, we'll go ahead, help you out, set the scene for you as far as green, white checkered attempts. What they will do is, if they, obviously they're going to take the green. If they make it back to the white flag, once they get back, if they take the white flag, we got an official race. Every damn one of them can wad up. If not, we'll re-rack them, restack them, do it again one more time. And if caution comes out on that second one, Field's frozen. It'll end under caution. Jamie Mullins on the inside. Chance Taylor up top. Clean restart right here, but Taylor's got a shot at him right here, Dean. Eddie Smith trying to dive it in and try to get him one here tonight. Mullins gonna try to get away. Taylor trying to put the block on Eddie Smith. Here comes Hennessy going into 3.
They're going to full send it now. Absolutely full send it, 2 to go. You've just got to try to get up the inside apron and then absolutely gas it. And around goes Chance Taylor.
Oh,
But-
Taylor.
And that's going to not give me a caution.
White flag. That is going to end it right here as Mullins, if he can make 4 more quarters, he's going to have it all wrapped up. Hennessy sitting in second. Smith back here in a dogfight with Jake Ellenson and Lucas Lyons. How will these points play out tonight? Jamie Mullins, he doesn't give a damn. He's going to win at Richmond. The door back into the line for 3rd. And Ellenson is going to get Eddie Smith for 3rd. Hennessy, the turkey sandwich for the turkey and the turkey sandwich in the middle. He's going to end up getting a 2nd. Ellenson 3rd. Eddie Smith 4th. Lucas Lyons gets 5th. How's it going to work out for them playoffs? Amateur division, James Kaufman once again. James Kaufman in the 25 wins the amateur division. Not by much, about a 1/10 of a second. Over old Chuck Pegleg Phelps. He's going to end up finishing 9th here tonight. But the night is on. Jamie Mullins, ready to party here in Richmond, Virginia.
You want to go back and have a look at that replay towards the end there. So went pole shape. Photo finish, I think it would have been too, with Jake Ellingson, Eddie Smith, maybe even Lucas Lyons was involved in that one too. But wow, we did get through it eventually. Of course, I knew that everybody was going to kind of give it a dash for cash, aren't they? Opportunity towards the end, and throw it in, see what you can get on the last dying laps of the race. There's our race winner, of course. We're going to be celebrating those burnouts down there. We'll get those grid results up for you there, Jacob, in a second.
Yeah, let's get them race results looking, possibly find some of them out there. Jamie Mullins, we'll see him out there in the chat. Talk to him in just a little bit, along with Andrew Hennessy and Jake Ellenson. Those 3, we'll talk to them in just a second. Eddie Smith's going to come home 4th after a little bit of door banging right there coming to the line. Lucas Lyons will get 5th. Andy Kurtz is going to get 6th. Top 5 pro drivers, top 6. Actually, Eddie Kurtz getting 6th. Lucas Lyons gets 5th. Kurtz gets 6th. Timothy Wilms will get 7th. So, unfortunately, according to the points, Wilms will not be racing in the playoffs. He'll still be here. He just won't be racing for a championship, but he'll end up finishing 7th. James Kaufman, we'll talk to him in just a little bit. He finished 8th and won the amateur division. Chuck Pegleg Phelps, pretty good drive for him. Started 7th. He'll end up finishing 9th here tonight, and Brandon Wallace, a pro driver, will round out the top 10. George Jules got to get 11th with Joshua Unger finishing in 12th for the amateur division. Matt Knights will get 13th. Rusty Rafferty 14th. Chance Taylor, unfortunate for him. Hell, he was running 2nd at the line. Had a shot to be able to talk to us. Unfortunately, he would get 15th, but he will be racing for a championship come next week. That is the last driver to finish on lead lap. Rest of the field, Michael McCarthy, Ricky Siss Jr., Jeremiah Holt, John Huchin, Doug Ellenson, Dougie, and Ethan Hollis. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And honestly, I got to take a leak, but we'll take a quick commercial break. Bring you right back for podium finishes and obviously Mine Dean's race analysis. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching the Veterans for Life ARCA series live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Folks, we're back here at Richmond Raceway for the conclusion here tonight for the Veterans for Life ARCA series with Goat Locker. We got the winner in the house. It's Jamie Mullins. Ends up starting third. Ends up winning it all here tonight. Jamie, congratulations on your win, buddy. Tell us about your race.
It was actually a fun race. A lot more cautions than I'd like, but it kind of worked out for me there at the end. The best caution came when everybody pitted, and I decided to stay out a couple more laps. I was trying to tell my teammate when I was planning on pitting. I didn't have my mic down over my mouth, so I had to stay out an extra lap, and then I was going to come in, and then the caution came out. So that kind of saved me and allowed me to get the track position that I needed. So that kind of helped a little bit, but it was a fun race. A little hairy at the end. I kept looking in my mirror and seeing the fast guys coming, and I was like, I hope I can hold them off. But it's great momentum going into the playoffs. I will say that.
You know, Jamie, you mentioned this a second ago. There was a lot of cautions, obviously, with 8 cautions for 39 laps. At least that's what I was seeing right there. Me and Dean, we've seen a hell of a lot more. Because obviously, and not with y'all, I'm talking about, well, let's not even get to that because I don't want to get fired. But anyway, do you think 39 caution laps in Richmond? Because I didn't know if you actually knew that was the number, but do you think 39 caution laps, almost 40 caution laps, is bad? Because in my opinion, I think it was a hell of a race. In my opinion,
It really was. I'm not used to a lot of them here, but I got to expect that. I mean, this is a cutoff race to get into the playoffs, so everybody's trying to fight for everything they possibly can. So, I mean, I totally understand it. I get it. Great racing, though. We did have some green flag pit stop there. Well, started of one. So it ended up being a really good race. There was a lot of battle for position, different strategies. Guys that pitted it early on that first caution or first or second caution, I can't remember. I came in behind Eddie. I was just mirroring what he was doing, and that kind of helped Eddie and myself get up there to the front. So overall, it was really, really good racing for everybody. So no, I mean, I kind of figured being short track cutoff races, I knew there was going to be quite a few cautions. So that, I mean, even for us, that's really not that bad.
Wait a minute, hold up. You was mirroring Eddie. You was basically just doing whatever he did. Is that what you said?
Yeah, for that first one, I didn't know whether to pit or stay out. So I saw the first 2 leaders, and I saw Eddie dive down. So I was like, well, let me mirror what he's doing because I know he's used to getting up front pretty fast. So, and it kind of benefited us for him. He got to lead for a good while, and then he pitted a couple laps earlier than what I wanted to for that other one, and then the caution fell. And that was luck on my part for staying out. It was a mistake because, like I said, I didn't have my headset microphone down to tell the guys behind me when I was going to pit. So, but as soon as I was going to come around to pit, I was getting ready to come across comms, and then the caution come out. So, call it luck of the draw or whatever. But I was glad to get a win this season. That's one thing that I didn't do last season. So that's always a gimme plus. But racing these guys up front, man, it made it fun.
Yeah, but Jamie, I was gonna say, go ahead and pick your own damn strategy and quit trying to copy off everybody else. But I mean, hey, it worked out for you. I mean, hell, you end up winning the race. So Jamie Mullins gets it done. Here tonight, I'm just messing with you, Jamie. I really
No,
am.
I mean,
It
that's
worked
one
out.
thing.
I mean, hell. I mean,
That's one thing I'm very weak at. Actually, there's two things: my restarts of the race and determining pit strategy. So I learn a lot by these guys that's been doing this for a long time about when they pit. So when he pitted, that's in a memory bank of mine. So I learned from that. So I mean, that's what this league's for. You get in here and you learn them from these other guys that are fast, that are really good, and has been doing this for a while. So that's what this development series is for here. So I mean, it's a learning process. So I was following him, but I was learning at the same time.
well, we got two things in common. Both those topics that you just brought up right there. I suck at restarts, and I can't figure out when to pit. I suck at that too. So,
Right.
we got two good things in common right there. But Jamie, congratulations on the win tonight. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Yes, sir. I got a ton of them to make this happen. The first one, of course, the sponsor of the series, Veterans for Life Foundation, and that's my team also, Veterans for Life Racing, Lincoln Tech, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, InVets, the Indiana Veterans. I'm a veteran myself, so anything I can do with a vet, the VA style is an awesome organization. Jam Printing and Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, and of course y'all, NASCAR 360. I know this broadcast is always going to be top notch. I can't wait to go back and watch it. So, Alexander PCs, veteran owned in Chicago. Use code GOATLOCKER at checkout, get $75 off, and then 50% of that comes back to GLR to be able to allow us to be able to do what we need to do and what we do every week. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing. Of course, we couldn't do this without iRacing and Above the Yellow Line. And I do want to throw a shout out there to all the GLR guys, all these racers in here, making this happen, putting on a show. Awesome bunch of individuals. And I will say, if you're looking for an awesome league with an awesome mission, Goat Locker's the way to go.
I'll say this: you think this broadcast was top notch? Wait till you hear me here with about 5 beers left. That's how many more I got in the fridge, and I plan to drink every single one of them here tonight. And I agree with you 100% with Goat Locker, baby.
I need to bring up one more thing. I hope you don't mind, but last time I did an interview, I said go Vols, and you said we will see. So can I still say that now, or?
Jamie Mullins wins here tonight at Richmond, folks. Jamie. Go ahead. Why not? Screw it. Go ahead.
No, I don't rub in. I did for that because I remember you said we will see, and I'm like, okay, all right. But it was a good game. I will say that. But go Vols.
Yeah. Anyway, Jamie Mullins wins the race here tonight. Jamie, appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week, buddy.
Thank you, sirs.
That was Jamie Mullins. Obviously had to throw a little go balls in there, kind of rub it in, and hell, I don't blame him. I mean, I probably wouldn't have, but anyway, Dean, I mean, I tried not to rub it in. Anyway, Andrew Hennessy comes home second here tonight, started on the pole. He was Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award winner. Andrew, what more did you need right there at the end to be able to have a shot to try to catch Jamie Mullins?
A few more cautions, that would have helped. If I didn't have that first caution when I pitted, that would have helped even more. But the cautions didn't fall good, but I had a good time battling everybody and trying to get back up through the field. I didn't think I could catch back up. I'm happy I got back to second, honestly. I think that's kind of the best case scenario from what happened that I could get back up to, so it worked out.
Hey, gonna pop in for a quick question. Andrew, you're one of the only drivers on the grid. In fact, I think you are the only driver on the grid that went down a pit road once on lap 69. How was the car feeling just before that? Because you extended it further than anybody else.
Absolutely awful. It was tight box. I couldn't turn. I hated it.
There you go. We were kind of, Jake and I were kind of talking about it. Is he even going to bother to go down today? But yeah, obviously you did. So
yeah, unfortunately, I needed gas. If I didn't get gas, that would have been fun actually, just to not pit at all. But it probably would have ended badly.
And, Andrew, I will say this, because obviously we see you in the iRacing Sam, that you are a pro driver. Obviously, not going to be running for a pro division championship this season, but obviously, we're expecting to see you possibly next season, hopefully next season. What can you take so far from what you saw this season with Goat Locker and carry it over to the next season for the Veterans for Life ARCA series?
It's been fun so far. I've been having fun racing everybody. It's been really close every single race. I'm sorry if I'm not having a good interview right now. I'm kind of starting another league race at the moment on the lap 1.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
it kind of overlapped, but I'm trying to get my thoughts together now. I've been having fun. I think it should be fun for the rest of the season. I don't think I'll be there for every race, but definitely, I think definitely next week you'll see me. And hopefully for a lot more.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you go. Well, I mean, hey, baby, you in another damn league race. We don't want to screw you up in that one or nothing. So appreciate your time. Real quick, give us your sponsors and your shout outs, buddy.
Oh, yeah, is that all the sponsors in the league? I don't know them off heart. I'm sorry. I know Veterans for Life is one. Okay, good. I got a caution, so I can actually list off the sponsors. Sorry, guys.
Go for it.
Lincoln Tech, Hinnon Whitbury, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Veterans for Life Foundation, Veterans for Life Racing, Invets, Jam Printing and Promotions, Mashoni Sub Shop, V Speed, and Nazar 360.
Perfect timing on that damn caution to be able to try to get the ads in there. Andrew, appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll see you more this season. And good luck in your league race that you run in right now, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
That was Andrew Hennessy. Comes home second here tonight, and obviously Dean Hill. I mean, hell, he ain't stopping. Hell, he's from here to another league. I mean, hell, he's going ahead and try to knock them all out. That is dedication.
Breed racing, yes.
Absolutely, it is. And we'll go to our third place finisher, Jake Ellison. Got him up here. Obviously, the redheaded stepchild is his profile picture. And Jake, tell us about your race, baby. You started 10th. Talked to you earlier on. Tell us about your race, baby. You started 10th. You end up finishing 3rd here tonight.
I just picked my way through the field. From 10th, one car at a time. Cautions kind of, killed the momentum for the long run that I had. Like I said earlier, Jamie's just super fast on that short run, and there was no way. I don't think there was any way I was going to be able to catch him, on restarts, and especially with his teammate starting right behind him, getting that restart advantage. So, kind of shuffled back a little, and then wrecks just happened to happen on the white flag lap, and I was in the right spot at the right time, and raced Eddie. Very fun, close race with Eddie for 3rd place. It was a blast.
I mean, and Jake, obviously, I mean, go ahead, Dean. I got you.
No, there was that moment, wasn't it, when we just saw it before, when the car just went around in front of you, and both of you had to lift off. I think Eddie had to actually give him a bit of a push out of the way, isn't it? And you're right behind, and that was a bit of a moment that could have thrown that race away, or at least a podium away from you, but you managed to survive it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, just at the right place at the right time. I kind of lucked out on a couple of the wrecks that happened where I just kind of skated by.
Jake, I will bring this up because obviously this is the regular season finale. After this, we're going playoff racing, and I'm going to name some tracks off right here for you. Kentucky, Iowa, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Homestead is where we finish it off. What's the track out of those 5 that you're most looking forward to, and do you think that you can get that monkey off your back, be able to get the championship this season?
I'm not going to put any money on that. We have some pretty talented drivers, here in GLR, and especially in the ARCA series, both amateur and pro drivers. So I'm not going to put any stake on me winning the championship. I'm just going to come out here and try to have some fun.
And as far as those 5 tracks I was talking about, which track are you most looking forward to?
None of them. I'll be honest, none of
Hell.
them. I don't like any of them. So
Hell, short and sweet and to the point. That's the way we love it. Jake, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the third place finish. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs?
definitely got to thank Lincoln Tech for being the fall series sponsor and putting their name on this number 27. Glad to get them another podium finish. Hidden Wit Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, which awesome place. Was there for the sim rig giveaway to
how was that?
a veteran. It was such a blast. They have amazing food. All the workers there were super nice. I believe their names were Nate and Frank. I think I can't remember. Terrible with names, but them guys, the owners of Nasty's, are amazing people. If you're ever in the Ohio area, in Hilliard, Ohio, stop at Nasty's. Definitely worth it.
You can watch some goat locker racing on the big screens too, right? While you enjoy the food and the brews.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Amazing place to be at. But we got Veterans for Life Foundation, the ARCA series sponsor. Can't thank them enough for coming on board for another season. Veterans for Life Racing, InVets, Jam Printing Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, Nazareth 360, Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Alexander's PC, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing Above the Yellow Line, and I can't thank my beautiful daughters and my amazing wife for allowing me to have some time to come out and have fun with you guys.
Always got to love the family. Jake Ellenson comes home third here tonight from starting in the 10th spot. Jake, appreciate your time. We'll see you in Kentucky next week.
Copy that.
That was Jake Ellenson comes home third here tonight. Now we'll go to the man who, in my opinion, Dean, I mean, literally, he came through the field. One of the biggest movers here tonight for the amateur division, and that's James Kaufman. Started 20th, ends up finishing 8th here tonight, but he gets the amateur division win and looking prime to get ready for some playoffs. James, buddy, hell of a drive right there by that number 25. Tell us about your race.
That was interesting. I blew it in qualifying and had to start in the back. I just didn't control the car right, and then got caught up on the early restarts. I got caught twice in other people's stuff. And spent all the early cautions just repairing damage because I didn't want to use the fast repair. And then we went green again, and I had never got tires. All I did was fix damage, and I was caught in the back with old tires and just running, going up. Somewhere along the line, this got changed, and they kept running green, which was great racing. But I was really wanting a caution.
Because your car was dinged up. We're just looking at it too at the moment, mate. It's pretty dinged up at the front.
And I just kept running, and then we started getting green flag cautions or green flag pit stops. And I had every time I fixed the car, I went ahead and topped off the fuel, and I had like 27 laps left. And I said, I'm just going to keep running, and because I had a feeling that when big change in tires came out, when the guys get their new tires come out, that something was going to happen somewhere, and it was going to be a caution. And that all of a sudden we got a caution.
Was your car like because you said you could try to get the repairs chipped out as much as possible? Was the car at 100%, or do you think you were still losing a little bit of speed per lap with the damage?
It was still losing some. It had just under 2 minutes of damage left on it, but wheels were straight. The wheel, my steering wheel was straight. Everything felt good. Tire was up. Just the sheet metal was bad. And this isn't too bad a place to have your nose banged up anyway, so it didn't hurt that much.
Well,
but I got to the end, and I forgot that I had the fast repair once we got to the end.
Oh, that's right.
Damn.
He saved it and didn't even use it. So, and still managed to gain 12 positions and finish inside the top 10 in P8.
I thought about it when we were going for the Greenway checker. I was like, I never used that fast repair. I was like, oh well, let's keep your foot in it and go. And had a heck of a race with Charlie again. I didn't realize that
save it and roll it over to the next race. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah,
but no, unfortunately, it's gone, mate.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Charlie needed to win that to move on. And he told me after the fact, and I was like, but of course, if I I don't. If I knew it, I don't know that I would have lifted and let him get there because they just find a bunch of people for that in real life. So.
I mean, hell, it's
But
Goat Locker. I mean, hell, I don't think they're going to end up running into that situation. But obviously, James, I mean, obviously, 2 weeks in a row, you win the amateur division. What's the mindset going into the playoffs? Being, quite frankly, as far as the standings goes, one of the top dogs in that amateur division. What's the mindset going into it?
Pretty much like every week, just stay clean and try to be there at the end. That's the biggest thing. Don't do anything stupid. Don't take anybody out. Try to be one of the ones at the end, so you got a shot at it because you certainly can't win it till it's over. If you get hurt the car too much early, you spend the whole race just recovering, which tonight was a great recovery.
We'll see how that works out for you. James Kaufman ends up winning the amateur division 2 weeks in a row from 20th to 8th. James, appreciate your time, buddy. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs?
Love every one of them that everybody's run through. We got Lincoln Tech, Deadwit Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Barn Restaurant and Bar. I say it every time. I got to get there. Veterans for Life Foundation sponsors this Thursday ARCA series. Veterans for Life Racing, InVets, Jam Printing and Promotions, Training Setup Shop, B-Speed, Nazareth, the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, and you guys put this podcast on, and that's awesome to go back and listen to it.
So James Kaufman wins the amateur division here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time. Congratulations on that amateur division win. We'll see you in Kentucky next week, getting ready for some playoff racing.
Forward to it. Guys, take care. Have a good week.
That was James Kaufman, finishes 8th here tonight. There you see the schedule, Dean.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Give us a little bit of, I guess you could say, recap on what you thought about here at Richmond here tonight.
Chuck comes home too in P9 just to go over some of the other drivers. So it kind of, to me, a lot of the drivers also made a little bit of a mistake during the qualifying as well too, that put him back. Andy Kurtz, he had to gain 10 places as well to finish in P6. Jake had made 7 positions gained, and we heard from him before in P3, as well as we heard from James Kaufman. So George Gill still managed to finish up, I think, back from his holidays, isn't he? He was on a little holiday break. So maybe perhaps if qualifying would have been a little bit better for some of the drivers, you never know as well too, but qualifying, you only got a couple laps to get it done. Short track is not easy. Ethan, unfortunately, didn't have a good day, did he? Today dropped, retired from the race, as well as Dougie. Tanner didn't start unless Tanner was on race control. But that's to wrap up the race, my friend. A few cautions. Could have been a lot more for short track, but good green flag running. And I hope everybody's enjoyed themselves because, round 12, Kentucky's coming.
Yeah, baby, we cannot wait to get to Kentucky. Obviously, there you see the schedule right there. Kentucky, Iowa, Atlanta, Vegas, Homestead. I say it all the time, Dean. That's where they need to end up finishing the playoffs for NASCAR, because that absolutely is going to be a fun one on December the 19th. It was a great race, short track racing. You saw pretty much all that you wanted here at Richmond, and then obviously you got a hell of a finish all the way to the end. There you see the schedule right there for Goat Locker for the fall series. Obviously Tuesdays with their Himwit Brewery Xfinity series. Wednesdays has got the Cruising Classics Next Gen series. Obviously Fridays right there with, I believe that is the Veterans for Life Racing Truck Series. Then Sundays is going to be the InVets Truck Series. And then right here, while each and every one of you is watching the Veterans for Life ARCA Series with the NASRA 360 Racing Network. That's going to do it for us here this evening. Obviously, want to thank each and every one of you fans out there for all that you do, the support for all the drivers, and obviously for this great league with Goat Locker. Shout out to the drivers for always putting on a hell of a show, and obviously we can't forget all of the great sponsors here with Goat Locker. Lincoln Tech, obviously we talked about them with these post-race interviews, but want to make sure that they get the honorable mention that they deserve. Lincoln Tech, Himwit Brewery, Cruising Classics. Matter of fact, Himwit Brewery Sounds like a damn good place where I could go here in a minute. Because obviously, Dean, hell, I'm out of beer. I got no more beer left, and I still got to record my podcast here tonight. But
Order it
obviously,
online.
Hemwood Brewery. Yeah, I mean, it's in Virginia. I mean, that's a hell of a drive from Rome, Georgia. But anyway, Cruising Classics, obviously, for what they do. Nasty's Restaurant and Bar. That's another great place to go. I got 2 different places right here to go, Dean. But obviously, I got to go with Hemwood Brewery. It's closer. It's in Virginia. Obviously, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar is in Ohio. Obviously, Veterans for Life Racing in Vets, Jam Printing and Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V Speed, and obviously Veterans for Life Foundation for sponsoring the Veterans for Life ARCA series. Also, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PC, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, Above the Yellow Line, and obviously iRacing. Because if it wasn't for this, I mean, if it wasn't for iRacing, Dean, I don't even know if we'd be here. I mean, we'd be having fun. We'd be talking, but we wouldn't be here calling a great race that we saw here tonight. And obviously, want to shout out Bray LaBeouf, Cody Knott for everything that they do with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Also, don't forget another sponsor with Goat Locker. Obviously, the door banging download new episode. 2 new episodes, matter of fact, coming out this week. Keith Bradley, Adam Newton, Huck Wigginton going to be on the show with Blue Line Racing, getting started for that C.O.P.S Truck Series. And obviously, Patrick Drabick and everybody, Jake Ellenson, all the guys with Goat Locker allowing us to come in here, call their races, have a little fun with you, the fans, and obviously the drivers as well. Australian Dean Hopton Biggles, I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, said as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and Dean, you better bring the moonshine next week, baby. We're going to the Bluegrass State. We're going to Kentucky. We're going to start off a little bit of playoff racing. Obviously, pro division, amateur division. It's going to be a good one. Next week, Kentucky Speedway. You do not want to miss it. For the Veterans for Life ARCA series here with Goat Locker. All of it live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And folks, if you got some moonshine, you better get it ready because it's going to be a good one. We'll see you there.